Most people live as if time is infinite. They postpone, delay, and wait. They wait for the perfect moment, for the ideal circumstances, for a sign that never comes. They tell themselves, I will start tomorrow. I will begin when I feel ready, or I need one more resource, one more connection, one more reason. And in waiting, life quietly slips away. Each moment of hesitation is a moment the world moves on without them. The potential that once burned brightly within becomes a flickering ember, fading under the weight of complacency. We often fail to see the chains around us because they are invisible. Chains of fear, chains of habits that no longer serve us, chains of comfort disguised as life. We call it routine, we call it safety, we call it adulthood. But in truth, it is quiet imprisonment. These chains are not imposed by others, they are self-forged, strengthened daily by inaction, by the refusal to challenge ourselves, by the slow, almost imperceptible surrender to ease. Consider the comfort trap. Comfort does not roar. It whispers. It tells you, this is fine, this is enough. It convinces you to settle, to accept mediocrity, to avoid risk, to embrace excuses. Over time, comfort becomes the enemy of ambition. It turns potential into regret. It numbs curiosity and dulls courage. Most people think comfort is a reward. In reality, it is a prison, and the more comfortable we are, the harder it becomes to see the invisible bars holding us back. Think of all the people who once had immense potential. Some had ideas that could have changed their lives, or the lives of others. Some had talents recognized by few, but ignored by many. Yet these individuals chose comfort, avoided risk, or delayed action. Time marched forward, unnoticed, while their dreams remained paused, waiting for a moment that never arrived. The years went by, opportunities vanished, and the spark that could have ignited something extraordinary dimmed, quietly, irreversibly. The difference between those who grow and those who remain stagnant lies not in resources, not in luck, but in mindset. Mindset is invisible, yet it shapes every outcome. Some people see challenges as opportunities. Every obstacle becomes a mirror reflecting what they can overcome. Others see the same challenges as threats, proof that the world is against them. Both face the same circumstances. Both encounter the same difficulties. Yet the outcomes are worlds apart. One life expands with every choice. The other contracts, suffocating under its own hesitation. The cost of ignoring potential is subtle at first, then brutally apparent. Regret builds like a quiet storm. At first, it appears as mild frustration, missed deadlines, abandoned projects, forgotten dreams. Then it grows heavier. Years go by, and suddenly it is unmistakable. Time has moved relentlessly, leaving behind what could have been. Imagine waking up at 50 or 60, looking back, realizing that most dreams were abandoned, not because they were impossible, but because action was never taken. What would that feel like? The heaviness in the chest, the pangs of if only, the haunting thought that life slipped by silently while you remained in waiting. And yet, possibility always exists. Potential is not lost, it is dormant. It waits quietly, often unnoticed, within every individual. Some people awaken to it, sometimes through crisis, sometimes through reflection, sometimes through the rare moment of courage that disrupts the ordinary. Awakening is not a loud revolution, it is a whisper that asks one question: what if you could live differently? It is the feeling that there is more inside, that the current path is insufficient, and that the life you are living could be far greater than what you have accepted. Consider the choices of the mind. To see the world as it is, to acknowledge your limitations, is not defeat, it is clarity. To see that your habits, comfort, and fears are quietly dictating your life is painful but necessary. Awareness is the first step toward transformation, and yet it is one of the hardest steps to take because it requires honesty, and honesty is rarely convenient. Most people fear discomfort more than failure. They will endure failure silently if it comes, but they will avoid the small, daily discomforts that real growth demands. Learning, reflection, confrontation with truth, all are uncomfortable. Yet these are the very things that separate those who achieve greatness from those who watch it happen from a distance. The mind of a person who grows is trained to embrace discomfort, not recklessly, not blindly, but deliberately. Growth is never painless. It is always inconvenient, yet it is the only pathway to the life that matches your potential. Potential is a quiet companion. It does not demand attention. It does not announce itself. It waits patiently as you scroll, as you sleep, as you convince yourself that tomorrow is enough. It does not leave. It does not disappear in a dramatic fashion. It simply remains dormant, quietly observing, waiting for recognition. It is indifferent to excuses, impervious to justification. And the irony is that it can coexist with regret. The same potential that could have driven a life of fulfillment often lives alongside a life of quiet disappointment. Consider a life where potential is noticed, embraced, and acted upon. It is not defined by wealth, fame, or external recognition. It is defined by alignment, the alignment between what exists inside you and how you live. It is the conscious act of refusing the invisible chains, of stepping into discomfort and acknowledging that life is fleeting. It is the courage to recognize that the path forward is unclear, yet moving forward is non-negotiable. Those who embrace this truth live differently, even if the world around them does not notice. They wake up with curiosity, not obligation. They measure time by action, not by routine. They feel the weight of life, and they respond. Every day presents a choice: continue the same pattern or confront the quiet surrender that masquerades as normal life. This choice is not dramatic. There is no sudden epiphany that guarantees success. Instead, it is a series of small awakenings, moments of awareness that accumulate over time. Each moment can be a turning point, a subtle decision to honor what lies dormant inside you. It is not action for the sake of motion. It is deliberate, mindful acknowledgement of your own existence, your own potential, and your responsibility to it. And yet, even when potential is noticed, fear does not vanish. Fear is constant. Fear questions, doubts, and hesitates. It asks if you are ready, if you are capable, if the timing is correct. Fear is relentless because it protects comfort. It reminds you that the unknown is dangerous, that change is risky. But growth always lies on the other side of fear. To confront potential is to confront fear, and in doing so, you discover strength previously unrecognized. You discover resilience, creativity, and courage, not as abstract concepts, but as living parts of yourself. Most people live life as spectators. They observe, they imagine, they dream, but they rarely engage. Potential is like a seed in fertile soil. Without water, without light, without disturbance, it remains dormant. The observer sees the seed, but never tends it. The doer, however, engages with life, often imperfectly, often with failure, but always moving forward. Engagement, not perfection, is the currency of growth. Without it, potential remains unrealized, a quiet lament of what could have been. Reflect for a moment. If you could measure the true cost of hesitation, the weight of postponed decisions, the quiet erosion of ambition, what would you see? Life does not pause. It does not slow down. It does not wait. Opportunities are not infinite. Time is the rarest resource, and yet most spend it on distractions, on comfort, on avoidance. The tragedy is subtle, almost invisible until it accumulates into decades. Then it becomes undeniable, and by then, much of the canvas of life has already been painted.